whether that's speaking life into yourself or speaking life into someone else, right? Or doing both. It's very important. To speak is to convey information, opinion, or feeling. It is not bound to sound of the physical ear. You can speak through movement and behavior. Have you ever heard of, oh, he spoke volumes? Now, what is life? I'll give you the simple definition, right? A flow of energy that is self sustainable. Remember that. Take note. Self sustainable. The difference between organic matter, humans, animals, plants versus non organic matter, right? Breath, spirit. Now, let's put the two together, right? To convey or and express. To convey or express an opinion, feeling, behavior, or movement into a self sustained flow of energy, spirit, or breath. Hmm. I mean, why is this important? Now, speaking is simply your mind expressing itself, right? Because remember, speaking is not just bound to physical sound, right? To the ear. It's also movement and behavior, right? And you ever heard that saying? Just be quiet and listen. And a person that you'll know everything about a person, right? You hear that often. Because speaking has the power to either manifest greatness, right? Speaking life has the power to either manifest greatness or manifest destruction, right? What is destruction? Stagnant energy. Hmm. And for me, the key word in the whole thing is self sustaining, right? Because when you think about parasites, leeches, right, viruses, and none of these things are self sustaining. None of them, right? They all have to rely on a host. Cells or structures on a molecular level, right? So when we deal with this, right, and we want to speak life into someone, what is the opposite? You are literally speaking death on someone because if life is a flow of energy, death must be a stagnation of energy, right? So when you no longer flow, you begin to create blockages. That's what every dis-ease is. It is a blockage, right? And thanks to Yaki Awakening and Dr. Sebi, we know that the blockage is some sort of mucus, right? So it's very important that we continue to speak life into someone so we can create that constant flow of energy. Literally, speaking life can actually break generational curses, right? When you speak life, it is not only in a physical form, but it also reaches a spiritual, metaphysical form as well, right? Because just like we have negative energies, we have heavenly energies, right? And when we are speaking into the constant flow of alignment and higher vibrations, we are reaching the heavenly realm. So now we have heavenly energies, right? They're now on our side, constantly making things happen. And we call those miracles, right? And though manifestation is always perceived to be abundance because we want to manifest our lives, manifestation can work both ways. See, when we manifest, right? When we manifest for the greater good, that's phenomenal. But we don't understand sometimes the powers of our manifestations because some of our manifestations feed infestations, right? What is an infestation? Let's talk about it. An infestation is a presence of unusually large numbers of animals or insects, usually causing damage or dis-ease. There goes that word again, right? So now, when we learn to speak life, we are ridding of the dis-ease, right? Because we are no longer feeding the infestations, right? Because along with the heavenly energies, there are low vibrational energies as well. And when we speak death upon ourselves, we don't like this, we hate this is ugly, this is nasty, right? We are feeding the lower vibrational energy. This is very important for you to understand. You have to understand and get this concept, right? Because this right here can change lives. So not only are you speaking life into yourself, but you are speaking life into others, right? Because now you're creating the laws of cause and effect. You're feeding these laws, these universal laws, right? Giving and receiving, cause and effect, right? You're amplifying. Because what we do gets magnified times a million, especially when our mind is focused on it. So we're focused on we're not good, we're bad, we're this, we're that. We're focusing in on these negative things and negative connotations, and now we're not affirming, right? It's so important to affirm yourself on so many different levels. And then it's even more important, right? Now I wouldn't say more, just as important to affirm someone else because they are your reflections, right? And to be honest with you, affirming and speaking life into others actually feeds your soul. It makes you feel great. So now you're magnified and amplified times a million, billion, trillion, right? These heavenly energies in this flow, you begin to feel it. This is why we get these chemical reactions and this dopamine, right? And all these different chemicals come together and they start to make you feel good, right? That feel good chemical now unblocks any blockages you have, right? Creating a beautiful flow of energy of life, right? Self-sustained life. Very important, right? Because when you are self-sustained, you don't have to feed on negative energy. You don't have to suck negative energy from anyone else. When you speak death upon someone, you become that parasite, right? So now here's the term hurt people, right? Or the term of misery loves company, right? Or negative energy has to feed on other negative energies, right? Or even feed on a positive energy to try to bring that energy down to its level. Speaking life is so important. I've done many videos before where I sit there and say, don't speak death upon people. Stop focusing on what you don't like about the opposite sex, right? You want to focus on what you love about the opposite sex or partners. You know, nowadays it's not just the opposite sex, it's the same sex. You know, fine, to each his own. But you want to focus on what you love about that so that you can manifest or attract and attract what you want. Because you continuously focus on what you don't want, that's what you will continuously see. And this is not just by design, right? Well, it is by design. But this is not just in regular life, this is through your algorithms. You begin to see and watch negative videos, all of a sudden fighting videos or negative videos keep popping up, keep popping up, keep popping up, keep popping up. Right? But then you start focused on inspirational and upliftment, you get a whole bunch of videos of upliftment. My algorithm is phenomenal. Right? Every once in a while I may get the offs, you know, the one-offs. And I'm like, you know, request not to have that. But speaking life does phenomenal numbers. And we are to always speak life into each other along with ourselves. Affirming, right? We sometimes don't even believe in miracles. Sometimes we think that happily Cinderella, right, story can never happen for us. We always think of fairy tales as being so hard to grasp. Speak life, right? And sometimes it can be perceived as being hard. It can be. Because we have put ourselves in such a box trying to be everybody else that sometimes we are not happy with ourselves. So if we are not happy or content with ourselves, it's very difficult to be happy or content with someone else. So we have to learn to say, hey, I love your shoes. Oh, you have such a beautiful light energy. Oh my gosh, girl, your hair is wonderful. Oh, King, I love that outfit. Right? Because once we begin to do that, now we begin to feed each other. Now the transfer of energy is right, conducive, conducting this beautiful current of electricity is just flowing. Oh, right, it's just flowing. So we got to do that. We have to do it. We have to love it. We have to know it. We have to be it. Prosperous awakening, infinite of divine abundance unto you. And remember to speak life at all times. Speak it, live it, breathe it, feel it, bask in it, okay?